Well, hi Scorpios. Welcome to Universal Guidance Tarot. It's time for your weekly reading. I have shuffled these cards very well. I'm going to shuffle them just a few more times. This is a two-part reading. The overall energy of this reading will be in the middle of the first part of this reading. So Scorpios, let's find out what can you expect coming up in your life. Scorpios universe. Wow. Okay, Scorpios, the overall energy of this reading, the Strength card. This is the infinity symbol here, right above the head of this figure, the symbol of knowing and intuition. So what this card says is that you know what you need to do, and you're going to find the strength and the courage to do it. This is the card for Leo. Leo might be strong in your chart, might be strong in somebody else's chart around this reading. This energy surrounds your entire reading. Knowing what you need to do and finding the strength and the courage to do it. Okay? Up here in your highest energy, the Two of Cups. This is a soulmate energy. There's somebody in your life that you're best friends, soulmates, there's love between the two of you. This is in your highest energy. So whatever it is that you know that you need to do and you're going to find the strength and the courage to do, it has something to do with this soulmate right here. Okay? So next to the Two of Cups is the Four of Wands. Another soulmate card. This is a divine soulmate card. Look, 11. There's union between two people. Again, there's union. There's union. This is a card of marriage sometimes. Wow, this is right above the Strength card. It's like, it feels like you know you need to be with this person. You just know it. And you're finding the courage and the strength to pursue or continue with this relationship. This is beautiful. You have a lovely soulmate who is also your best friend in your life. Okay? And lover. Next to the Four of Wands is the Six of Wands. This is success in your endeavors. This wreath right here is about engagement. All these wands coming up in the background of people celebrating your success in love. There's a lot of love here. I can tell that already. A lot of love. And people, they celebrate your togetherness. Oh gosh. You have an announcement to make here pretty fast, pretty soon. I have the Emperor right under the Two of Cups. This is the card for Aries. Aries might be strong in your chart, might be strong in their chart, or around this reading. But the energy now is entirely different than just being an Aries. But the Emperor, male or female, it's the energy of being kind of stubborn, kind of fixed-minded in their mindset. It's really hard to change your mind or their mind. This could be, I think this is your energy. I think that you've been really focused, and I think you've been like, it's not the way or the highway. I don't feel like that with this reading. Sometimes I do with the Emperor, but it's more like you know what you want, and you're just sticking to it, okay? You're sticking to what you desire. You're very well liked. You're very well respected by others. You even have a position in your employment as being a manager or someone in leadership or someone in the law system maybe. But the Emperor here is right next to the Strength card. So I think what it is coming out of your comfort zone a little bit here. Because I think it's really hard for you to move forward. But I feel like you're going to find the strength and the courage to do so because you're right below the Four of Wands here. Because you know this person is special and divine and they're a soulmate. And you know you need to find the courage in order to move forward with this very, very divine soulmate. So, I think you're going to find the courage to get up off that granite throne and move forward with them. And I think that's why the Six of Wands is here. You're not an easy person to sway. But you're going to do it because you know it's in your best interest, and that's what I see here. I see the Justice card right next to the Strength card. This is right under the Six of Wands. You're always in self-protection mode, you know. This is just part of your personality. But you like your life to be balanced. This person, I think, brings balance to your life. The number 2, the number 4, the number 6. You know, they bring balance to your life. This is self-justice. It's this person brings you, they make you feel good about yourself. And remember I said you could be part of a justice system or something in your employment? Well, here's another card, the Justice card, which might point that way. This is the card for Libra, by the way. So Libra might be strong in your chart or might be strong in somebody else's chart around this reading, right next to the Strength card. So you want to move forward. I see that. I see that you feel this special connection with this person, and you are going to move forward. The changes are going to be taking place. All in the meantime, you're going to stay balanced. I really feel like you might have Libra in your chart someplace. But you are going to stay self-protected. You know, you are always, this is part of your personality. But you are going to find the strength to move forward with this person because you do not want to leave them behind, Scorpio, at all. So you're going to stay balanced. You're going to find the strength and the courage to but move into this union here with this special soulmate. Under the Emperor, I have the Knight of Wands. So you have been, you like to be free, okay? You don't want to be tied down. This is kind of what you've been hanging on to on this throne. It's like being tied down to one person. So the Knight of Wands is kind of, it's a free energy. Now, with this Four of Wands, that's not so free. But I'm feeling like you can be just as free moving forward together as you were on your own. And I think that's why you're going to do this, is why you need to let go. And you're going to find the strength and the courage to move into this Four of Wands energy with this best friend and soulmate with lots of love. And so you're moving forward from the Knight of Wands energy, being on your own and just being, you know, making all your own decisions, not worrying about anybody else. And you're like, you know what? It's fun to move forward with them. It's almost like they're your better half or your second half or however people put it, since you've known them. So there you go. You're moving forward. It's not a speedboat. There's no motor on that boat, but you are moving away from these rocky waters, and it's kind of like moving away from this energy of the Knight of Wands, not being grounded and just kind of flighty, to a much more peaceful, calmer place in your life. You have all these swords of truth and clarity on that boat with you. It's being pushed by a pole, so you're doing it. It's not the fastest moving energy, but you're doing it, and you're moving right towards that Four of Wands. And, you know, right under the Justice card, next to the Six of Swords here, is the High Priestess. This is the card in the tarot deck for intuition and knowing. And we started with the symbol of intuition and knowing. So it's just like pulling back that pomegranate curtain and listening to what yourself is telling you and actually following your own advice. You know, some people block their intuition, and intuitions can be very strong and they can really help guide you in the right direction. So it's under the Justice card. You're going to stay balanced. You're doing a couple things at once. You're staying balanced. You're staying like in self-protection mode, which is actually part of your personality. And under this Justice card is a High Priestess. So you're also discovering that what yourself is telling you, what your gut and your heart and head are coming together, and they're telling you to move forward with this best friend and soulmate. Even though it's not going to be a fast energy getting there, but it's sure going to be worth it. That top line is absolutely beautiful. It comes down to your willingness to listen to your own intuition. And it's like follow your heart, follow your head, follow your soul, man. second part of this reading. What else do we need to know? So far, if this sounds like your reading, it probably is. If it doesn't sound like your reading, it probably is not. And I would check moon sign. Your moon sign is your emotional side. Okay. Up here in your highest energy, I have the Nine of Wands. So it's like, I think you've been in a commitment before, or it's just the idea of being in a commitment because you're facing a Six of Wands. This is really a card of engagement, especially being right next to the Four of Wands here. So you just, it's wearing you down. I think you're like, you were so stubborn at first about, oh, I'm not going to get tied down, but now you're kind of like, this wand is holding you up. These are wands of fresh starts and new beginnings, and you're breaking down. It's like you're discovering, you're listening to yourself, you're listening to your intuition, and it's like you can't fight it that any much longer. Okay, so you're going to be like, I really need to move forward with them. You got choices. Everybody's faced with choices in their life. Do you want to be with them for a very long time, or do you want to risk losing them? This is kind of like decisions that we're faced with as we go down life, down the path of life. And it looks like you're going to want to hang on to them, definitely. I have the King of Pentacles right next to the Nine of Wands. These are all male or female, every single card. So this is Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. That might be strong in your chart, might be strong in somebody else's chart around this reading. But the energy, and this is looking at that pentacle, the commitment. You're really going to study that commitment, okay? You're going to take a long, hard look at it. You don't take anything lightly. You're not the type to throw caution to the wind and jump into any commitments at all. So you really think about it. And it's next to this devil energy. So this is the card for Capricorn, and only because of the horns. Okay, that's it. The energy is quite different. The energy is toxic. It could be you were thinking about there was a third party situation in your life at one point. You could be thinking that there's something, you've been in toxic relationships before, and you're trying to avoid that by just sitting on your throne, thinking that you want to go through life all on your own and never put yourself in that position again. Well, the devil's waving goodbye. I don't think this toxic energy is in your life any longer, but it's on your mind. It's on your mind when you're looking at this pentacle and thinking about commitment. You're like, is it going to last, or is it going to turn out like this devil energy here? Is it going to turn out toxic, or is it going to stay this way? I have the Five of Pentacles under the Nine of Wands and next to the Justice card. Now this is something you become balanced over. This is another reason why you're so self-protected, and it's because you've been left out in the cold before. You've either been ghosted, or you've just been rejected. But this energy, it wears you down. You have a lot going through your mind about this soulmate. This is a special soulmate here. Normally, I don't think somebody could do that to you. Whoever this is can, and they are putting a lot on your mind. You have a lot to think about. You have a lot to let go of if you want to move forward. I can see that. So yeah, you're a little worried about, God, if I get in this commitment, are they just going to end up becoming toxic to me? Are they going to abandon me? Are they going to, reject me down the road? Nobody really knows. And so what this reading is saying is follow your intuition. Let your intuition guide you, and find the strength and the courage to let it guide you. Excuse me. Almost always cough in the reading. So, next to the Five of Pentacles, and under the King of Pentacles, really looking at, is this going to be stable? How long is this going to last? And all that, that you're thinking. It's a Knight of Cups. You're wondering, are they really sincere? I mean, do they really have a full cup of love for you? And do you have a full cup of love for them? This is a very sincere energy, this Knight of Cups. Look, that cup. There's lots of room for love, just like the Two of Cups. Those cups hold love, unless there's something else in them. This Knight of Cups is actually marching right towards the Judgment card. There is a spiritual lesson in this for you, a spiritual awakening lesson. That's why you've been through this toxic energy. It's right under the Devil. That's why you had to go through what you've been through. It's to put you in a place, I can see here, where you're more careful on moving forward. And in this case, almost a little too careful, but you're going to work it out with yourself. I can see it here. So this is your guardian angels and spirit guides. And they're blowing the horns down on you. And they're just trying to teach you a spiritual lesson, which you have learned. And now that you've learned it, you can allow this cup of love to come in towards you. And it is. And then under this Five of Pentacles is the Queen of Pentacles. So I have the King and the Queen of Pentacles up here in this reading. Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, like I said, might be strong in your chart, strong around this reading. They're all male or female. Look how big that pentacle is now. Getting bigger. This is the second biggest pentacle in the deck. So it's like you're really looking at that pentacle. You had a past relationship that fell apart, became toxic. They left you in a bad way, and you had to heal from that. I'm surprised I don't have any healing cards, but I do have the Judgment card, which is a spiritual lesson learned. Next to this Queen of Pentacles, which is right next to the High Priestess, follow your intuition, about this commitment. Because this is turning into commitment up here. It starts with, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful commitment. There's a lot of love, okay? So, and it feels like it's like that type of love that a lot of people never encounter. And I think you're faced with this. And so I think that's, it's just so beautiful. And I think that's what wears you down, breaks you down, in order to listen to yourself, to your feelings, and accept them, and that's why you move forward. It's hard, but you're going to do it. You're going to find that courage and that strength. This Queen of Pentacles is right next to the Empress. Ooh. This can be Taurus. This can be Libra, strong in your chart or somebody else's chart around this reading. Also, I kind of want to point out that this relationship with this soulmate up here, it could be based on, it feels very grounded. It feels very committed. It feels stable from all ends, being I have the King and the Queen of Pentacles. Now I have the Empress here. So the Empress, this card usually comes up in the tarot deck a lot of times to remind you of who you are. Because after we've gone through toxic relationships and so much happens in our lives, sometimes we forget about the true essence of who we are. The Empress, beautiful energy, beautiful. We have the Emperor and the Empress now in this reading. I think this is definitely, this is such a strong connection. It's undeniable, first off. This could be a twin flame energy, but a beautiful twin flame energy. Some twin flame energies are not so great. But this one looks wonderful. And it looks like your mindsets are the same. You want to build on, and you want to, you want things out of life. And you're going to work together. Your minds come together, and you're coming together here. But with the Empress, you are kind and thoughtful and generous and loving and giving and supportive. If you're a parent, you're an excellent parent. So whoever comes into your life, this is right under that Knight of Cups, whoever, and right next to the Queen of Pentacles, whoever comes into your life is going to have a lot of those same qualities. And from what I see here, they do. They do. Follow your intuition on this connection here. So, right next to the Empress, the Nine of Cups. This is like a wish come true. I think you've been kind of holding back on your love. It's all because of that toxic energy. And going through this spiritual lesson here, we could just go down the line, you had put your love on a shelf and you just kind of guarded it, and it wasn't easy for you to hand it out. But I think you're discovering that this is the right person to hand that love out to. This is the right one. So it is this person, this soulmate, this twin flame, which very well could be, is a wish come true in your life, Scorpio. I'm taking out one more card, clarify this reading. I got the Page of Pentacles. It's all about the Pentacles. So, you're looking at that Pentacle again, trying to look at it like a crystal ball. Is this really going to work out? It's right above the Six of Wands, and here you are. It's like wearing you out, trying to see into the future, because you can't really see into the future. But what these cards are saying is follow your intuition on this one, and it will get you where you want to go. And it's all about the Pentacles, and it's all about you. It's about you breaking free from this stubbornness that you've had because of past relationships and moving forward with someone who's extremely special in your life. So Scorpios, this is your reading, and thank you so much for watching Universal Guidance Tarot.